This video is brought to you by Aura. All that really needs to be said about Black Adam has been summarized already in a tweet by Robert Jefferson. I feel like the critics who gave Black Adam low scores are the kind of people who sit around drinking wine while listening to fancy music and saying that movies are art. We could sit here and pick this one apart all day, but what really sums it all up is that last line, saying that movies are art. Now, I don't know where Robert Jefferson stands on that whole Scorsese Marvel thing, but does this not prove Scorsese's point? Sex says it himself. Apparently movies aren't art, or at least Black Adam isn't. When the movies that get the biggest budget and support are followed by takes like this, with promotion like this, just a bunch of people watching it in a boardroom, you can't help but get, I don't know, a little depressed about the current state of cinema. Because here's the thing, I have mixed feelings on Black Adam in that I think it is actually better than most Marvel movies from the last few years, something I can totally get away with saying just weeks before Wakanda Forever comes out and disproves that completely. But this movie, Black Adam, actually does care a lot about the audience's entertainment. It is the most roller coaster movie ever, and in doing so is also just so stupid, and obviously does not mean a single thing. It's like how I felt about DC's Aquaman from a few years ago. I had some fun with Aquaman, and in all honesty, I think this is what superhero movies should be like. Either that or something like The Batman. I think at the end of the day, DC, way more than Marvel, understands at this point a certain level of craft and poppiness needs to be there for these superhero movies to at least be entertaining while they overcrowd the theaters. And Black Adam honestly isn't an exception. Those action scenes are fun and parts of it are interestingly shot. I would take this goofy ass shot any day over 2 hours of nothing cinematography coming out of Marvel. It's goofy and it's dumb and it understands what it is, which is, you know, I can admire that at least. The Rock is perfectly casted as just a big stoic godlike guy. Nothing else is really being brought to the table from him, and I don't think anyone was really asking for more, although it would have been nice. But I don't think this is a good movie. Let's not get carried away. Despite some mildly entertaining scenes, this thing as a whole is not a good movie. Before I get into territory that would label me as a fancy music enjoyer, because God forbid I'm a fancy music enjoyer, I want to get the distractingly obvious flaws of this film out of the way, one of them being Noah Centineo. Seeing him on screen, incredibly alarming. Almost as alarming as when I got a notification about a new credit account being detected, something I only know about because of today's sponsor, Aura. You've heard me talk about Aura before. It's the app I use to protect my data from hackers, spammers, and scammers. What are you doing to protect yourself? If the answer is nothing, then I highly recommend you check out Aura. Here's how it works. Aura continuously monitors the dark web looking for your emails, passwords, or social security numbers and sends alerts fast to your phone or email when they find anything. Aura also gives you near real-time alerts on suspicious credit inquiries, like if someone is trying to open a loan or credit card under your name. They automatically send requests on your behalf to brokers to remove your information, helping to reduce the amount of spam and robocalls you receive. Their VPN allows you to stay anonymous online by keeping your browsing history and personal information safe and encrypted. And their antivirus software will block malware and viruses before they infect your devices. Identity theft is so common that there's a new victim every 14 seconds, and it costs the average victim over $1,000. You have any idea how many people have been scammed just in the time it's taken me to record this ad? Because it's a lot. Protect your family and yourself from identity theft at aura.com/Karsten, also linked below in the description. If you sign up right now, Aura will give you a 2-week free trial with my link so you can see for yourself how many times Aura finds you or your family members' personal info on the dark web. And if you do sign up, let me know in the comments if your personal information has been compromised. You will not regret checking. Now back to the video. I know, have we not made fun of Noah Centineo enough? It's been a few years since that video of mine, and I have not really been catching up with his career, I'll be honest. And unfortunately, this does not really make me feel like I was missing much. The guy plays the Ryan Reynolds type comic relief, the kind of annoying character that would fit perfectly in any self-aware Marvel film, the one that's like, oh, I'm not good at being a superhero quite yet. And in his defense, I feel like this corny, charismatic comic relief is just out of place and could probably work in a more exciting movie. But in something like this that is so manufactured and for the most part dull, him eating chicken wings during a meeting scene just came across annoying and forced. Oh, he's hungry. Now that's character development. And that right there is the core of so many issues with this movie, the character development. When you go to these movies, you go in expecting a sense of satisfaction and thrill, nothing challenging or forward thinking, which is completely fine. Not everything has to be that, of course, and I do like watching satisfying and dumb fun action movies. Most people go to the movies to just escape and forget about things, not to be challenged. But when there's a lack of attention to the character characters, I can't help but feel a lot more bored than I should. The action scenes in this movie, where it just comes down to the rhythm and technical approach. This film has that down because it treats the cinematography, sound, and edit like a science to make the most satisfying action scene possible. But when it's time for the film to hone in on its characters, something even the most style over story type movies have to take into consideration, it's clear the film has no idea what to do about it. The editing in any scene that isn't an action fight scene is just horrendous. It really feels like the editor just wants us to get through these conversations and necessary story scenes as fast as possible so that we can get on with the action. There's this one tweet that pointed out that there were like 40 cuts in 20 seconds, which to be fair is to be expected when you cultivate a fan base of man-children who only go to theaters to avoid spoilers and bet on which superhero will make a cameo. Obviously none of them are going to want to sit through actual character development. I should also make note that these movies are mostly for children, so it would make sense to, they're not going to pick up on edits. But some of the lines in this thing are delivered so unnaturally and feel so choppy and rushed and forced that I can't help but not only get taken out completely, but also not give a single shit about any of these characters. And when you don't care about the characters, you don't care about the stakes, and that makes the action scenes not as good as they could be. To write genuinely interesting characters that feel like they bring something new to this very tired genre, you need to think outside the box and bring a sense of soul into it, something Black Adam was never going to do, as it is less focused on being a singular movie and more focused on being a new era. The next Iron Man. Just say you want to be the next Iron Man. I feel like Iron Man worked as well as it did because Tony Stark and the style of that film felt like a step above what people expected from a superhero movie at the time. Guardians of the Galaxy worked because it was a self-aware, humorous take on a superhero movie that was really groundbreaking at the time. Black Adam brings what exactly to the table? The film and The Rock obviously want this to be a new era and for this to change the hierarchy of the DC, whatever. What does that even mean? And while I'm sure this film's box office performance will get it a sequel regardless, I'm sure there's going to be like 5 other Black Adam movies. It certainly does not justify the need for more superhero movies. Aquaman is at least a weird-ass fish guy. Jason Momoa has the kind of charisma where he couldn't be anyone but a movie star, so that movie gets away with enough of these flaws to be a good watchable time. But Dwayne "The Cock" Johnson doesn't really seem like he has any inspiration or motivation for playing this character other than to simply be epic, which is fun to watch, but gets old pretty fast. The same can be said about every side character in this movie. Aldous Hodge's character felt incomplete and one-noted. Quintessa Swindle's character brought like nothing to the movie. Pierce Brosnan was okay. He felt like the only one who at the very least pretended to care about his performance. Or maybe the whole Justice Society of America thing was really, really lame and I just couldn't take them seriously. Maybe that's what this is. Again, I'll take a stupid movie with shots like these any day over another Thor: Love and Thunder, because at least this is entertaining. I don't think this is even close to being the worst thing in the world. For being as manufactured and as soulless as it is, the people behind this thing do at least succeed at making scenes that will entertain like a roller coaster does. But circling back to our friend Cosmic Sex Explained, I do think people, not just critics, are allowed to point out that this film, no matter how entertaining, is deeply flawed in its writing, character development, editing, and lack of personality. If you had fun, that's all good and fine, but I just wanted to give my 2 cents on this pretty much non-movie. Thanks for watching. Go watch Black Adam and form your own opinion, and I'll see you in the next one.